Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. All right, Monday night's mental all was not really super dramatic. We didn't have the Katie Thurston versus Greg Grippo moment. We didn't have anybody walking off and doing any crazy things. Just a bunch of guys that felt bad about their edit and how they treated Charity, and Charity saying, hey, it's okay, I found my guy, right? But there was this one segment here where fans are turning on the pettiness of the cast that essentially called out week one guy Peter. I'm going to share what Peter has to say about it, and not only Peter, but as you can see, pilot Rachel. He's a pilot, she's a pilot. Hey, you're both pilots, why don't you be each other's co-pilot? Maybe the Mile High Club? Who knows? I don't know how it works. Is that FAA regulation? If there's two pilots in the air, okay, you get the point. So Fantasy Suite, more like Fantasy Flight. Come on, folks. So either way, we're going to get to what he has to say about it, everyone rallying around him, and also let's just go straight to Reality Steve. He's going to explain his thought on this petty drama. And speaking of villains, did you guys know, that's not the image I wanted, Corinne Olympios is going to be in a new TV show called House of Villains on the E! Network. We'll have to try to cover it. I don't know if we will, but we'll give it a shot. If you guys haven't caught up on Corinne and where she is in life, she did my podcast, the Dave Neal Show, Driving with Dave. You can go watch it right there. It's on our other channel, the Dave Neal Show. But again, she talked about her life post-COVID, going through heartbreak and all these different things. I think you'll like her if you hear that conversation. Either way, let's go to what Reality Steve had to say, and then we're going to get into all of the different Bachelor alumni in support of this guy, Peter. Not Peter Weber, a different pilot named Pete.
Was totally bizarre.
It was bizarre.
As I tweeted out, you know your show is struggling for drama when they literally spent an entire second segment talking about a guy who left night one, and the drama happened off air on social media that none of the public even knew about until last night watching the show.
Now, I agree it's bizarre. How bizarre, how bizarre. A New Zealand song. Shout out to my New Zealand friends. Kiwis, I understand how bizarre this story is, but I'm glad they shared it. I'm glad they shined a light on how petty some of these guys are.
We're not invested. We don't care. Unfortunately, there is a pecking order when it comes to this show. Peter, this guy that was eliminated the first night, I had totally forgotten about him. Is it shitty that the guys were tweeting out things and signing it FP for fuck Peter because they didn't like the way he acted the first night? Yeah, it's petty and it's childish. Xavier was the only one man enough to step up and say, yeah, you know what? Shouldn't have done that. That's my bad.
Well, I think Braden was the one who told Peter about it in the first place. So I think Braden did apologize, but either way.
Why did anyone else say that? Why do they all continue to go in on this guy? And if he was talking about, oh, I'm going to make T-shirts and, oh, I'm going to monetize this. Dude, you're all going to try and monetize in some way.
So they all got mad. We'll go back to Reality Steve in a second. But they all got mad at a Zoom call that happened post-show. Here's how it all went down. Justin Takes the Batch made a nice little graphic here. He's going to show the different cast members and what they said. So, you had Sean here saying, I don't have time for petty nonsense. And then Sean was one of the guys who put FP right here. So it seems like the show has known about this all season, even though several months ago they edited the FP out of the caption. What could Peter have done so egregious to get a dozen guys to put FP in it? These 10 cast members wrote FP for F Peter at the end of their announcement headshot captions and have since edited those posts. So in their big moment to share their cast photos and get all the love and all that, in that big moment, they all put FP, like it's a gang sign or something, in their comment section. Some people are surprised to see Dotton in here. I am surprised to see Dotton in there. Braden, Braden, I'm not going to make excuses for him. You guys know I've been a fan of Braden here. It sucks. I do believe he's the one who had the come to Jesus moment and realized this was wrong and didn't want to go along with it. But either way, it just goes to show so many people would rather be on the right side, the good side, the popular side, and not stick up for things. So these cast members now, we have on the top left here, we have John. Justin has an edit. He says, big edit. I'm being told that John B's original caption did not have FP in it and that it was just a regular edit. Because you can tell the captions that had it because it says edit, which means they went in and took it out. It makes sense considering his edit was 10 weeks ago and the others are all 7 to 8 weeks ago. So clearly the Bachelor producers must have saw that it all said FP and said, hey guys, can we take that out? Like, what are you guys doing? So nobody knew this happened, which honestly, for me, I actually appreciate that the Bachelor producers called this out, because essentially what you had is this is what happened, right? Pilot Pete starts to talk, and then Caleb at the bottom here says, "Oh, who are you? You night one nobody? Hello, no one remembers you." You know, he does that whole thing with his cowboy look, and then immediately Jesse Palmer goes, "Well, actually, kind of funny that you guys all said this about him then," and really just rams it straight up there, you know what. So here's what Pilot Pete.fly had to say following the support from all the fans. "A huge thank you to everyone who sent me positive and encouraging messages before, during, and after last night's Men Tell All. I really do appreciate the kindness and support. Nothing but love for all. Be kind. LP," which means love Pete. And then Pilot Rachel wrote LP, 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 LP. And of course, she also had a heart there. And then someone said, "I see where this is headed. Love is in the air." And of course, the pun air, because they're pilots. Kat Izzo said LP for life. Jess Gerard, LP. Davia, LP. Everyone said LP. So nice little love there for Peter, Pilot Peter. And yeah, look, I mean, let's go back to reality, Steve here. I can understand this came out of nowhere, but again, it just goes to show some of the guys they cast on these shows just literally, you know, they're all, anyone who was on the show that got mad at Braden saying you're here for the wrong reasons, they posted FP in their Instagram. It's so childish.
Right. So stop it. I can't believe they were that petty over a guy who went home night one.
Exactly.
I mean,
they had to take their time, get in their group chat. Hey, we should all do this. Now, maybe they'll comment and say, well, FP started as F Peter, but then it became like a nice thing and it became something else. Too bad. I mean, the optics are terrible.
Come on, guys. That was nothing. Nothing. But they made it seem like, oh my God, this was a major deal in the house or whatnot. I had no clue who Pilot. That was the Pilot guy, right? When they were going across at the beginning of the show, by the way, none of the guys gave two-handed waves. None. Which, if you look at Bachelor Data's Instagram post from yesterday that I reposted on my Instagram stories, guys doing two-handed waves don't really happen very often. Doesn't happen very often. Definitely doesn't happen every season. There are some seasons where it never happened during the tell-all, and you'll never go a full women tell-all without getting at least one woman to give you the whole two-handed wave. But I digress. When they were just going across the top row and telling the guys to introduce themselves, I was like, Peter who? I didn't remember him from the first night until they started talking about it. And they said, oh, okay. But he didn't say anything on the first night. Everything they were talking about was either not shown on TV or it happened post-show, right? Why did they spend more than 4 seconds on this guy? What a waste. I mean, and after that, there was no drama the rest of the night.
But I am glad they did, because it was the type of drama that left curiosity for the audience to go figure it out. So, I mean, to the credit of the show, here we are making a video about it. Is it the #1 video of the week? I doubt it will be, but it is interesting. Any video that makes me play the X-Files music. What did Pilot Pete do or say in that Zoom call that made them so upset? And they said, well, he was talking about merchandise and how he could make money off of a t-shirt or whatever. It's all those moments where they were probably all laughing with him in the moment, and then once they all hung up on the call, they decided to team up on him. And sometimes those that are ostracized are the ones that have real value. Like maybe Peter is a guy, and again, maybe he's an asshole. Maybe, but even if he is an asshole, I don't think it's worth it.
Do pilots hate when flights are delayed or canceled just as much as passengers do? Short answer, absolutely. Fun fact, pilots and flight attendants alike only get paid when the aircraft doors close and the airplane is moving. Therefore, when you're sitting around for 2, 3, 4+ hours at the airport delayed, more than likely the flight crew is as well, and they're not getting paid sitting around the airport with you. So remember, next time your flight is delayed, be kind, but especially be kind to your pilots and your flight attendants.
I mean, look, seems like a nice guy to me. What do I know, folks? What do I know? Either way, that's your update. Go give him a follow. Maybe we'll see him in paradise. He can get his own flight there. All right, we'll be back with more content right after this.